Okay, so clearly building isn't one of my strengths in Minecraft, even with help from a pro builder, but I do like to get rich. Now, of course, as we all know, I want to be the richest Minecraft hardcore YouTuber, but if I'm going to do that, that means I need a cool place to hide it all, which is where this video comes in. And what would be the best way to hide all of this insane loot? Literally in plain sight. So what I'm going to do is build this little house, people will see it and think nothing of it. Little do they know it's going to be the secret passageway to the biggest Minecraft vault ever. It's going to be insane. I mean, I know the house is meant to look terrible, but we can at least add some windows. Oh, and if you want to see what sort of loot I'm going to be storing in this vault, let me just show you. Here we go. This is the sort of loot I'm talking about. Yeah, boy. But before I keep getting loot, I'm going to make some ladders, and I'm going to go underground. Never dig straight down. I'm being really stupid right now. Yeah, that should be enough. And now I'm just going to get marking this thing out. So I've done these 3 block gaps because I'm going to have armor stands here, all the way going along through this corridor to this big room. See, we're having ideas already. This is why I need to plan it out first, and then I can get all the loot I need. This is going to be sick. So yeah, what we're going to have here is a giant room. In fact, there's probably something I should get first. There you are. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, I'm just going to borrow you for a second, if that's completely okay with you. Now we have light. Give you a bit of haste. Oh, that's so much easier. And there's loads of water. That is just absolutely fantastic. Oh, and I've run out of blocks. Please subscribe. And we're done, but I've just now realized I'm just going to have loads of sand and gravel falling on me while I'm doing this. Fantastic. Also, how big shall I actually make this thing? Let me have a think. Like this? Nah, too small. Is that big enough? No. Yeah, I think that will do. Anyway, I've got these entrances here to do some rooms, and I'm going to do that later when I've figured out what's going to go there. But I have a more important job to do first. You see, I want to get that main room finished, and there's one big thing I want to have in the middle. And you may be able to guess what it is, but at the moment, I don't really have the facilities for it.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
So we've got to go hunting for those. Yeah, you might be able to tell where I'm going with this. Took me an hour to get this first with a skeleton skull, and now I still need to get 5 more. Yeah, it's alright, I didn't need my Wednesday anyway. Yeah, we need something better than this. I'm actually going to grab every sort of expensive beacon block I have and just see how much of the beacon I can make. I guarantee I can't make the whole thing, but by the end of the video, who knows? Maybe it'll be full netherite. Right, so that's the beacon fully collected up. I get the feeling that I'm going to need more blocks than I have. Right, let's see what we can do. I swear if mobs didn't exist, I'd be about 48.9% happier in life. Can I do the bottom layer? Barely. This is actually embarrassing. Okay, yeah, we need a plan. Now, to be honest, the plan was literally just to make a farm, get loads of that type of block, and then make a big beacon. I decided to go with gold, so I grabbed every material I needed for this farm. It wasn't a crazy farm, but it still worked. I actually built it using time lapses because we've all seen people make gold farms. It's boring. I didn't want to waste your time. And then when it was finished, I AFK'd for around half an hour, and I had around a stack of gold ingots. I was going to have to go AFK for much longer. Well, I was going to AFK for ages, and then I realized that my chests are quickly filling up and I'm losing loads of loot. I literally had to go in there and grab it, hence why the dirt's there. So I'm just going to add loads of hoppers and loads of chests just to make sure I don't lose out on loot, because that's the last thing I want. Lose all my gold, it'd be terrible. Okay, that should do. Let's give this another go. Okay, yeah, well, I'm glad we have a lot more chests now, but this farm is still kind of slow. So one last thing I'm going to do before I go AFK is collect up a bunch of magma blocks, get some more glass, and make more layers for this farm just to see if it will actually give me more gold, because we need loads. This part wasn't in the tutorial, so I hope it actually works. Yo, it's actually working. It wasn't working for a second, but then I made these areas bigger, removed the obsidian, and it's actually working. Right, I've been AFKing for literally hours and hours and hours. Let's see what we can do. First of all, I'm just going to quickly get rid of this monstrosity that's going on right here. Now, I'm thinking to myself, should I fill in this whole thing or just leave it hollow and make it look a lot bigger? We're going to fill it in, all right, because I'm not a fraud. Well, that's the first layer done. Can we do the second? Yep. Can we do a third, though? We can. There's another, and another, and there we go. Wait a minute. There we go. Now it is finished. And we've still got some leftovers. Now, next up on the list for our vault was to figure out what it was going to be made out of. Of course, it's a vault full of riches. It had to be secure. So, of course, we went with some of the strongest blocks in Minecraft, starting with cobblestone, then moving over to normal stone, and then stone brick to make sure the thing actually still looked good. I also made these rooms from the separate big main room, and it was finally time to completely transform this vault into something insane. But, of course, I needed the loot to do so. And I didn't want to bore you with all this end looting because I think you've seen it enough on the channel, but if you've not done it already, just look at this loot. I've been looting them all day, and if this doesn't prove that it's worth it, I don't know what does. I also did a bunch of mining because you can't have a secret vault without gems to go inside. You know what I mean? Now, it's cool having all this stuff, but we need somewhere to put it. And of course, my chest room isn't the greatest. Everyone's always putting in the comments, Zetro, make a chest room, make a storage room. Now, I've got an idea. We're not just going to use one of these little rooms here. What I'm going to do is remove this whole middle section that I've done off the flooring. And now I'm going to dig out this whole area. This is where the chests are going to go. We're going to give it a glass roof, and when we're done, this thing is going to look sick. So I've put a little ladder down here, and all of this is going to be stone bricks. So I know it's going to be worth it, but this vault is taking so much longer than I thought. Okay, there's the base of the actual safe done. So now it's time to make this thing look sick. Now, obviously, I left these gaps to put armor, so I'm going to place them all around. I think that actually looks pretty cool. A cool little way to show off my riches. I'm also going to grab a bunch of glowstone, because we need to add some lighting to this place. Oh, let's also put some lanterns around. This place is actually starting to look quite cool. Now, let's also make these main walls look a bit more interesting by adding some details. Obviously, I know it's not meant to look fancy, because it's a vault, but I at least want to make it look a little bit presentable. That should do it. This literally feels like one of those Roblox tycoons where you make your base better over time. Anyway, let's add some water to spice this place up a bit. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, lava looks so much cooler. Oh, and before I forget, we're going to make this into an enchanting room so I can stop using this mess up here. Oh, and this might be a little bit overboard, but I decided to get to a really high level with my Enderman farm, kill loads of cows, make paper from my sugarcane farm, and literally get infinite enchanted books. All level 30. Of course, I literally didn't need any of them, but it meant that if I ever needed an enchantment, I'd most likely have it now. Yeah, that should be enough for now. Now, this is going to be my show-off room. Everyone needs a show-off room. You know how, like, your parents get you to tidy your room, they clean the house if their friends are coming around? This is basically my version of that, by showing my riches. And then this third room is actually going to be my netherite beacon room. Hence why it's empty. But you know what? This is a start. We'll get there one day. I'm meant to be a pro Minecrafter, by the way. Oh, and I almost forgot. It's time to do the chest room now. Do you think that's going to be enough chests? Honestly, I had to chop down an entire forest for all of these. But at least I got enough area for storage now. Now, speaking of storage, unfortunately, the time-lapse failed. But basically, what I did was move everything. This was probably the most time-consuming part of this whole thing. I'm not joking. It literally took me like hours to move everything, putting things into chests. At the end, I just got all the rubbish that was left over, whacked it all in a bunch of chests, and at least that was my storage kind of done. Kind of. Now here's my vault. It's my place where I'm going to keep all of my riches. When I eventually get my netherite beacon, it's going to sit right there. We've got our enchanting room, we've got a beacon, all our rich loot, all of our storage now. But I think this place is missing one thing. I think we should make this jungle themed. Now we're going to start off by doing some trees. Of course, normal jungle ones won't fit in here. And now I must destroy my creation by breaking the walls and putting these mossy blocks here. Fantastic. Now we can't forget the vines. They're probably the most important part. And these shrubs. These add so much green to this vault. We'll chuck in some bamboo, because why not? I'm going to break some glass here. So it's actually like an abandoned jungle vault. I'm also going to grab more vines and just go crazy with them. Let's wax them on the beacon, why not? And also destroy more of my build, because why not? Okay, I'm actually really happy with how this turned out.